Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
A tourism giant is threatening to take states to court if they don't commit to a strategy for reopening borders to New South Wales and Victoria. Premier Peter Gutwein says a plan for Tasmania is on its way, expected to be unveiled later this month.
Premier Peter Gutwein once again standing firm on the state's borders.
At the end of the day, we will make the decisions that we believe are right for Tasmania.
But Flight Centre boss Graham Turner wants to put an end to that.
Well, look, at some stage, Queensland, WA and Tasmania have to open their borders.
Preparing to take states to court if they don't commit to a reopening strategy. The closures costing the company $100 million a month.
If as a last resort, that's all what we have to do to get the borders open, we'll certainly do that. We are committed to that.
Queensland's Premier responding to the threat.
Well, good luck to them.
To be frank, I couldn't care less whether the head of the Flight Centre or any other airline or business wanted to take Tasmania to court.
But there is good news coming. The Premier has today announced he will unveil a border reopening plan for Tasmania in mid-October, once he receives further modelling on the impact COVID-19 will have when it enters the state.
We hope and we're planning to reopen our border by Christmas. But importantly, we need to get through those thresholds, and we'll have more to say about the plan in a couple of weeks.
Vaccination targets on track, with almost 60% of Tasmanians now double-dosed.
If Tasmanians continue to turn up for their bookings and continue to fill these available appointments, we will hit 90% fully vaccinated by the 1st of December.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
And police say 3 men are lucky to be alive after battling treacherous conditions when their yacht broke from its mooring and ran aground near St Helens. The men were forced to jump into rough surf and find their way to shore in the middle of the night.
This 33-foot yacht now at the mercy of the currents. Its 3 occupants woken around 1:30 this morning and forced to jump overboard.
Incredibly lucky. Luck has played a big part in their survival. There wasn't a lot going for them.
Low visibility, winds, choppy waters and rain seeing the 2 men in their 50s and a man in his 70s choose to moor their yacht overnight at Binalong Bay, en route to Hobart. But it broke from its mooring, drifting to Taylor's Beach and running aground. One of the men walking nearly a kilometre to find help.
I'm amazed that he found it. He didn't know where he was because they actually ran aground asleep. So they only woke up. They woke up to being on the beach, but they saw a little light in a house.
That light possibly saving their lives. The Williams family alerting police and taking warm clothes to the beach, where a 72-year-old man spent 20 minutes in the water, his body temperature dropping significantly by the time he found safety.
I imagine he was just terrified that he wasn't going to find anybody.
The 3 men were taken here to the St Helens District Hospital. 2 have been discharged, while the 72-year-old man has been transferred to the Launceston General Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. More wet and windy weather is predicted over the weekend, with authorities warning not to venture onto a boat if you don't need to. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
Tourism bosses have slammed a decision by Huon Valley Council to scrap a long-awaited development at Ida Bay. Project X was the brainchild of Mona's Dark Lab team. It was expected to bring millions of dollars into the region, ravaged by bushfires in 2019.
It was a project promising to bring life back into the Huon Valley, but those dreams, spearheaded by Mona's Dark Lab team, have been all but quashed.
All of the Huon Valley Tourism Network, the Far South Tasmania Local Tourism Association, they're all bitterly disappointed, as are we.
This week, Council voted down the application in its current form, citing agricultural and planning issues, leaving the tourism industry and state government flabbergasted by the missed opportunity.
This is really the Huon Valley Council's Sydney Opera House moment. Not everybody may like it, but this is a globally significant, world-renowned artist who wants to build a low-impact, sustainable public artwork.
Obviously, that is a very significant project, and one that the state government was looking to provide support for.
It's a welcome step forward for the local Railway Preservation Society, which wants the heritage value of the area to remain protected.
Yeah, they want to have their cafe and sell tickets to go to their transformers. It's just in the wrong place. Go down the road, round the corner, there's 1 million acres. You can go for your life.
In a statement, Dark Lab's creative director says the development application maintains the heritage values of the historical railway site, and the transformer proposal in no way hinders or impedes the future of an operating rail, if and when a viable proposition arises. Dark Lab now has a 14-day window to appeal. If it does, Huon Valley Council says it will stand by its decision to refuse the proposal. Dark Lab says the artwork would bring 30,000 tourists to the area each year, which is desperately needed for a region still in limbo. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
The federal Labor member for Lyons is pushing for more GPs in regional Tasmania, putting forward a submission to a Senate Committee on Primary Health Services in regional areas.
We've had trouble over the years of attracting and retaining doctors throughout regional communities in Tasmania. And of course this is a nationwide problem, having similar issues in regional Queensland, regional WA, regional New South Wales.
It comes as another Tasmanian GP clinic is on the brink of closure, with the LOUISE GP practice unable to fulfil the mandatory vaccine requirement for staff by the end of October. From now, it will become tougher for vapers in Tasmania to get their hands on supplies, with the federal government strengthening importation laws. It will be illegal to buy nicotine e-cigarettes and liquid nicotine locally and overseas without a prescription. It's a move set to curb the number of teenagers taking up vaping, but critics fear it will create fewer pathways to transition from traditional cigarettes. Environmental activists have campaigned on the steps of the Premier's office in Launceston, demanding an end to native forest logging in the northeast. An online petition calling for change has garnered close to 25,000 signatures. The group believes logging of the Krushka forests will threaten Derby's adjacent mountain bike trails.
Logging these forests is wrong-headed. It undermines not only our ecological stability, but the nature-based business brands that are growing in the region.
Sustainable Timbers Tasmania says while it's planning to partially harvest some neighbouring areas, the mountain bike trail network won't be affected. Clarence City Council has taken a stance against ageism, signing a pledge to stamp out discrimination in the community.
The pledge is a commitment by Clarence City Council to recognise that ageism is a problem in the community right across the board, and that we want to take steps to ensure that ageism is minimised.
Council of the Ageing says discrimination towards older people is most common in the workplace.
People are pushed out of the workforce or find it difficult to be re-employed. Our general economy suffers, let alone the lives of older people themselves.
If you or anyone you know is experiencing ageism, contact Equal Opportunity Tasmania. She has a state snooker title already under her belt at age 13. Now young prodigy Lily Meldrum is aiming to draw more competition to the table. As the face of a new development scheme for younger players, the star cueist hopes another champion will emerge.
The freakish talent of young Lily Meldrum was no more evident than in the Tasmanian Championship. She only lost one frame on her way to claiming the women's title.
It's always nerve-wracking going against older people, but you just got to stay calm and do your best.
Her challenge now is to find more challengers. She headlines a new development scheme at Launceston's PCYC, a pathway for new players, future champions or those just looking to have fun.
It's something that I love and I want to inspire others to play as well.
The smaller tables are designed to ease aspiring players into the sport before they go on to regulation size. The cream of the crop will then don Tasmanian colours and head to Albury for the Junior Nationals next year.
This is a perfect opportunity to grow our young people in a different sport. It's still a very disciplined sport, but it's very different to other team sports.
When I'm in the zone to play, I'm actually very happy, and when I actually hit a ball in, I get very decided.
The tables arrive today, but the PCYC wants to see as many as 20 filling the room once the scheme gathers steam.
No matter how much experience you've had, if you know a bit about it, if you know nothing about snooker, come down and have a go, because you'll love it.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
As COVID uncertainty triggers new internal and personal battles across the country, new art display is exploring the diverse perspectives of mental health. The Minds Do Matter exhibition at Launceston's QV Mag showcases more than 230 Tasmanian creations in a wide range of mediums.
It's really about connection. Obviously, that's the theme, but it's about having those important conversations.
I think the process of creative practice is a really good way for people to manage mental health concerns.
The exhibition runs until December. A Tasmanian caravan park is giving away a month's worth of free accommodation. Inspired by Are You OK Day, the St Helens Big Four Holiday Park is offering 900 site nights and 58 accommodation nights to stay in November. It's primed to not only spark important conversations about mental health, but boost the East Coast regions suffering from border lockdowns. A study found each visitor contributes close to $80 a day to the local economy.
Anything else that we can bring now will be flow-on effects through the community, through the shops, through employment.
Residents can register for the promotion on the park's Facebook page. Meanwhile, locals can also support their favourite charities simply by raising a glass. During 9/11's A Good Drop campaign, every purchase of a Tasmanian-made drink will come with a funding token to be shared between good causes.
At the end of the quarter, there'll be a $5,000 donation split up amongst those charities, depending on how those votes have fallen.
And what a fantastic way to raise funds and spread awareness of the amazing things that we do at the Dogs Homes of Tasmania.
It will cycle between 3 new organisations every quarter.
The Tasmanian Jack Jumpers have celebrated their first birthday, complete with cake. Players signed autographs for their young fans. The team is now just 6 weeks away from taking to the court.
I think the highlight would be the first game, especially our first home game here in Tasmania. It's going to be great for our fans, for our team and for our coaching staff. They've worked very hard up until this moment.
But as the COVID situation worsens on the mainland, hubs aren't being ruled out.
We're all really well informed and it's just a matter of working through it. There's a setback today. Victoria's restrictions have been upgraded, so we'll work through that. And it's just going to be, we'll play games where we can play games, when we can play games.
The Jack Jumpers will travel around the state as they complete their pre-season training. And it's been 30 years since CARRICK hosted the National Sprint Car Championship. The night's top dirt track cowboy survived a spectacular spill to claim victory, but the event was nearly lost thanks to a challenge to the Speedway's very existence. The CARRICK Speedway was about to bite the dust leading up to the national titles. The Westbury Council, as it was, wanted the track moved, with concerns it was stifling development.
It's one or two councillors that have got probably a couple of cronies that just keep on bashing at the Speedway.
Try as those cronies did, the Speedway beat City Hall. 11,000 were there to watch the Winged Warriors compete for the National Sprint Car Championship. And it wasn't long before they found trouble in the heats.
Oh, Cricky's gone! Ron Cricky a big backwards into the wall over there.
16 finalists battled in the main race. The number 5 Valvoline, Victorian Max Dumpsey was the favourite.
Max Dumpsey looking for the way through the traffic out there. And it's thick traffic ahead.
And to the glee of those gazing through the fence, the fighting became a bit too fierce.
Cattle moved into second. Huge roll. Cars going everywhere.
Even that wasn't enough to stop Dumpsey's run. Using wire, tape and somebody's belt, his pit crew managed to rebuild the machine. And a push from the ute had him resume the race at the front.
He's about to go. He's mobile. Mighty Max into number 5. He is away. It is unbelievable.
And he was never headed. The beaten-up Chevrolet engine screamed around the Speedway and into the history books.
Unbelievable after flipping the car over.
His first of 3 national sprint car titles.
Now, I've got to ask you this. The message we got was that there was a bit of wire in somebody's belt actually holding that new wing on, mate, for you to finish.
Somebody put a bit of wire around it and a belt, and I think there's even a spanner on there and a bit of other stuff, but it held it on there, no worries.
Good evening. Rain fell in the east and southeast today with showers developing elsewhere.
Thunderstorms in the north. To 3 p.m, the highest rainfall was 17 millimetres at Copping. Hobart reached 15 today, 22 in Launceston, Devonport 21 and Burnie 19. 23 degrees, the state's top at Strawn today. Lowhead 20, Flinders Island 19, Ouse 17, St Helens and Grove both 15. Low level cloud over the east and southeast today, scattered cloud over the remainder. Further out, mid to low level cloud blankets Victoria. Cloud associated with thunderstorms sits over New South Wales and Queensland. Saturday's chart and a low pressure sits to the east of Tasmania. Several troughs can be seen over the mainland. On the water, south to southeasterly winds at 10 to 20 knots, as well as around a metre in the east. And a minor flood warning for the South Esk River tomorrow and a flood watch for the north, northeast, east coast, southeast and Huon catchments remains. The forecast now, Hobart rain and 15, Medina showers and 17, Oatlands looking at 15. Showers developing in Launceston 21, a top of 19 for Devonport, showers for Lyowini 13. Burnie showers developing, Strawn 19 and a shower or two, Marrawar 18. In the east, St Helens showers and 16, rain for Swansea and Orford 15 the top. To Sunday now, showers or drizzle about the east and southeast, showers developing elsewhere in the afternoon. On to Monday, showers about the west and north, extending statewide in the late morning. And finally Tuesday, showers in the west and far south with a shower or two likely elsewhere. Melbourne tomorrow, shower and 17, Canberra 18, 23 in Sydney, Brisbane 28, Darwin 32 and Perth, showers and 20. And right now it's 14 in Hobart, 17 in Launceston and a cloudy 16 in Devonport. Kim, the rain and showers continuing tomorrow, but on a brighter note, Murph will be back on Monday.
Well, that's debatable, I reckon, or like looming clouds or a storm warning. Thanks very much, Laura. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.